Are we good?
Yeah,
Hi, guys.
We're on, guys. Free Coaching Fridays.
Free Coaching Friday.
Hello. Welcome to Free Coaching Friday, guys. I know we're a little bit later than normal, but we've been doing very exciting things. The infamous Nate O'Reilly has been doing a live sprint of DevSecOps of our DLC to expand our Pied Tinker content. And it's been pretty exciting to watch that process and like the strategy that goes into planning a product and finding what can sell, the whole nine. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Oh, yeah. Basically, as you can see on the screen here, I've been flapping. That's right. No, anyways.
It's Friday, y'all. We're having fun, okay?
Right.
Yes.
Long story short, we are doing a DevSecOps sprint for our DevSecOps dojo. So I had launched a DevSecOps dojo around the beginning of the month. And the thing about the DevSecOps dojo is it's really for people who are trying to drastically increase their, whether you're trying to build a product, like a business and launch products, or you're trying to build your income. It's the DevSecOps dojo is really for people who are a little more senior, like either working in more of a senior role or a provisioner role, or if you are already an entrepreneur or a business owner.
It's essentially like a professional development community, and it's a great place to meet other professionals that are, at your level, and also learn a lot of new skills that Nathan is, imparting on people within the group.
Yeah, and it's not at all beginner friendly, but it's a great opportunity for people who are actually trying to launch cloud products in a way that anyone can afford.
And so, not to digress too much, because I know that our Free Coaching Friday audience is a little bit more beginner, and that's kind of our focus. But someday, soon, you can be part of the DevSecOps dojo. You can get your belts and level up and be a black belt. You can be a Randall Massey. What's up, Randall? Hi. Love you.
Hey. Massey's around. And George.
Anyway, not to digress too much on that point, we wanted to not so much focus on that, right?
Right. So tonight we wanted to talk a little bit about, this idea of, I think the problem, okay, so we want to talk tonight about the problem with corporate work culture, which is that people kind of lose their identities as people and kind of just become workers in the machine. And part of that, and obviously not all companies are like that. And if you are working for a company that really values you as a person and values the work and the way that you contribute to them as a company, it. You know when you're in one of those jobs, right?
Well, and that's part of what, if you follow our education path, at some point, if you're in the dojo, you can create your own business so that you don't have to sell your soul to capitalism,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it was a little bit of a difficult segue for me to go from that to the next. But anyways, it doesn't matter. The point of our whole Free Coaching Friday tonight is don't sell your soul to capitalism, because if you, not in my position, luckily today, I am part of a great team, a company that cares about me. They value my values. But in most circumstances, if you die, your company is going to have your position filled before your body's cold. Am I right?
Yeah, right. You're kind of just not a number per se, but you are.
Yeah.
You are. 100%.
You are essentially.
You cost
a lot of
this
them.
much per year. This is how much you cost. And that's it.
Yeah, and it's true. And the other problem with that, a lot of times, especially for salaried employees, this is particularly a problem, is, usually people are overworked. You have way more work on your plate than you could ever complete in a 40-hour week. And so you're working 60 hours a week, 80 hours a week, all the time, every week, because if you speak out about it, then you're afraid you'll get fired. Or I think a lot of people also get trapped in this mindset of oh my goodness, my company would just like my department would fall apart. Like if I took a week off or if I didn't work the 60 hours that I work every week, everyone would die without me. You know, and that's just
people
not the
are
case.
just
It's
like
not true.
sacrificing themselves, and like especially those people on salary. And I've seen it happen over and over
and I
again.
think honestly, probably all of us have been like caught in that trap a little bit ourselves at one point or another before we got a little more like enlightened as you know.
A lot of us
human
are
beings.
still trapped in that. Not me, because I have you guys now.
And
but
again, it's like it's not your fault either if you are stuck in that sort of a situation, because that's kind of what our culture encourages people to do. And
we've
like
been programmed. We've been
Yes.
programmed to do that.
Exactly. Absolutely. So that's what we want to caution you about tonight is like, just, be mindful of those things. If your employer is asking you to work more than like what's written in your contract, then when that time is up, and again, like we're not encouraging anybody to be like a clock watcher and like just work from 9 to 5 and like that's all. I mean, if that's your mentality, then you're probably not in this community anyway. Cause
That's probably true.
No,
you're probably not following
you're
us
not.
if you love to. If you like to work 60 hours a week and you are like, because I actually had a manager one time who blatantly told me, he's like, and I'm sorry if you're watching this. This is not a diss against you or anything. You're a great person. He's actually very nice, but he desperately believed that everyone on the team should be working 60-hour work weeks at the minimum.
Because he did, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's what he did.
Yeah.
And so he
That's right.
expected everyone underneath him to work that much too. And you know what? Like, again, not a slight against that person, because he's also just like a piece of this, a tool in the corporate cog as well. Like, he doesn't even realize like the fallacy.
Yeah, he doesn't do it on
Okay.
He
purpose.
has been programmed. He's been programmed to, and I think that we need
you wanna make a living.
Especially in 2020, we need to acknowledge that there are things more important to our lives than work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And while we do work gives us fulfillment. It allows us to expand our talents and our education, and it pays the bills, quite frankly. But it is not the end all be all of your life. What really matters is when you come home to your beautiful family.
Yeah,
That's what really.
absolutely.
So if you're sacrificing your real life for a paycheck, you don't do that. You don't have to do that.
No,
There
you
are
don't.
options out there for you, and that's what we're here to talk to you about tonight. You do not have to put up with that. Can I say bullshit? You don't have
You
to
just
put
said
up with
it's
that.
too late. It's happening. There's no going back.
Ah.
It's live. We're
Hey, you know
going.
what?
Full
It's
steam.
after 9 p.m. We're all good, right?
All the kids went to bed.
I may have
All the
did
kids
that a
are in
little
bed.
bit on purpose.
Yeah, we're late night programming tonight. It's okay. I worked at a radio station, and the FCC, all those guidelines kind of go out the window after 10 p.m. So.
Yeah,
Also,
honestly, we'll
it's
probably get
YouTube,
more
okay?
international folks
It's
right now
YouTube.
than Americans.
We're a little bit.
Well, we're not monetized anyway on YouTube, so it's okay.
Yeah, that's.
We don't have any
We're not.
sponsorships. We're
We
not
don't.
gonna lose
We
any
don't have
sponsors.
sponsors. We do whatever
I
we
want-
want, and we make our own money. It's kind of
I
that's
want-
what it is.
That's a great transition.
I watch
Yeah.
monetized
So, yeah.
YouTube channels that swear much more than the S word. I'm just saying.
That's
Yes.
right.
I dropped
Yeah.
an S word after midnight on the East Coast, so it's okay. I
I think
promise.
we'll be fine, yeah.
If Gary Vee can do it, we're not even half that bad, so we're set.
Yeah,
We're
but you know
solid.
what? That's a great kind of, I think, transition into our next point, which is like, again, like, if you don't like the culture of the company that you're working in, if they don't appreciate
Yeah.
who you are,
Yeah.
then one great option, one option that we absolutely encourage is start your own company so you can say whatever you want.
Heck
And I
yeah.
have to interject because our flapping went from critical to okay. So our
Okay,
flapping
we're
is
good.
okay right now. So just so everyone knows, flapping's okay.
Hard
We're
flapping.
good. The
okay.
flapping. We're good. We're good.
So
But that's the
tonight's
beauty
a little
of the
more
dev
like a
sec-
fun, lighthearted conversation
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Nathan has been in the middle of like coding, hardcore coding, like all
Yeah.
day. And we all just needed a little.
Super. It was
I'm just
Super
doing boring
exciting.
DevSecOps.
no. Shut up. It was super cool to watch. It was super exciting. If you are not in on the live sprint, you're missing out. Don't listen to him. He doesn't know what he's talking about until it comes to DevSecOps. But I thought it was super fun. If you're not watching it, you're missing it out. But anyways, to go back to that. Oh God, you guys have me cracking up right now. It's just
It's
Flapping.
too much flapping. I don't know what else to say. Like, well, we were critical flapping for a little bit, but the flapping's okay now. So I just had to say it.
But
Good.
so
I
if
had
you
another
don't
point
want
about
to
corporate
be,
greed, but I forgot amongst the
We'll
flapping.
get there.
if you don't want to sell your soul to capitalism, start here with us on Free Coaching Friday. We've got our free PreRex, and you have all the programs, or don't use our programs, whatever. But there are resources available to you, whether it's our resources or someone else's. We don't care. We just want to see you healthy and happy, and you
Absolutely.
can start your own business and do whatever the heck you want.
Yeah,
I
do
can
what you
swear you're
It's
welcome.
not as hard as you think.
Exactly. And like that's really what all of our products are for. And you know, obviously depending on where you want to go with your career it's or with your life. Like if you want to start your own business, then you know, pay for one of our programs. Pied Hacker Experience is amazing. Like we've had people launch who didn't even make it all the way through the 8-week program, who launched into like $80,000 careers.
Yeah.
Like you can do that. Like
We've had people go from like never been in cybersecurity to $80,000. Their literally
And
first like.
you know what? And because
salary.
and for those people
Beginner.
also, like they're able, because of the skills that they're able to build, they don't have to get into one of those like really crappy like corporate cultures, because people are like trying, you know, they get to pick and choose because all these employers are coming after them as individuals with
Exactly.
with high
So-
skills, so they get to choose what company they're giving their life and their energy to, you know.
So that I think is like really the common theme of what we're trying to talk about today, is taking charge of your own path, right? So, and I wanted to like I was looking at some stuff when we were talking about earlier the American work week, productivity versus profitability. Our productivity has been our productivity and profitability. Bleh. Say that 5 times fast. Product. I still can't do
Productivity.
it. Productivity and
Profitability.
profitability have been skyrocketing. Meanwhile, cost of living is skyrocketing. Quality of life, however, is not doing the same. So you do not have to be subjected to that at all. It's not necessary. You can live a happy life.
And that gives
That's
me
right.
that gives me a strong point to go with that too, because like so I used to build a technology called Security Information Event Management, and when I worked with this type of data, I worked doing what are called deployments, and what a deployment is where it's kind of like being a consultant, where someone says, hey, I'm a company that's like the ones that I can talk about. It's like, I don't know, like Macy's or like some large company, or NASA, or was like some very big facility company type who has lots of money. They come in and they say, hey, we want you to build like intelligence that will let us like watch, engage not only every single set of hardware in our company, but also let us watch every single employee, which is kind of like the Eye of Sauron, is what I've compared it to in the
Big
past.
Brother
Is
is
like
watching.
so accurate.
like
so
the whole
accurate.
the Big
The
Brother
Eye of
technology. That's what I used to work on. Is like, you're being watched. I used
Well,
to. Well, not used to. I
was-
still build that. That's what this is right here.
I was Intel, so I lived quite literally. I can't say anything more than this, but you are being watched.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
the cool thing
But
about
so
I mean,
these
cool.
companies are like watching their employees and like charting out their productivity, right?
Well, yes, and the interesting thing that I learned is what we started running into is that companies, like, there's a diminishing returns point where when people started working over 30 hours a week, and then past that point, the more people started to work over time. Now, if there is someone who's going to work for literally 2 months as a temp and leave, then 40-hour work weeks work great. And they might even be able to do 50-hour work weeks. Great. As soon as they hit about 2 to 3 months, then what happens is like working a lot of hours at first has increased productivity, and then it has this nosedive. And then all human beings, you can watch it. It's like you can watch it in people's performance numbers. They have a recovery period. Human beings have a recovery period, and the best way to not have a recovery period so that you can constantly have positive growth with an employee's work always is to not overwork them. Because if you don't overwork them, they constantly produce more for your company over time. But if you overwork them, then their productivity like tanks, and they have to rebuild, and it tanks, and it never actually keeps going.
So I have no idea the validity of this claim, but I find it inflammatory enough that I need to bring it up. They say various studies have found that the average employee is only productive for 3 hours a day, or an average of 12. I mean, I could believe that, maybe.
Oh, I totally believe that.
Oh, yeah.
I've worked in those companies. I've been that person.
I'm not productive 40. I mean, like, please don't watch this, future employers. Not that I need you, first of all, but
Right.
anyway. But I'm not productive 40 hours a week. Like, it's an unreasonable expectation.
Honestly, the only company that I was ever like that. Okay, so I worked as a journalist, so but the beauty of working as a journalist is like you do the interviews and you write your story and you go to the meetings that you have to go to, and like as long as you make your deadlines, like it's not about being in an office for X number of hours a week, you know?
Get the job done.
Which is beautiful. I loved that, and that's how I started working. Like that was the career. You know, when I entered career world after college, that's what I did. So I was already used to like not having to clock in and do that sort of thing. And then I worked in a marketing department for a public university, which was much more like you have to clock in and clock out and like be on the, and you like do the things, and that like just killed me. And I was definitely that person who was maybe productive like 2 hours a day, you know, and the rest of the time I'm just, I don't even know. I don't even know what I did for most of the 8 months that I worked in that company.
Right.
Well, and I worked hour shit. No. See, because we had changeover and the commute, so really a 14-hour day, and I was not, we'll just say I was not pleased with my own personal performance.
Yes, fair.
Agreed. Yeah.
You know, like,
I totally relate.
I could have given more in a shorter amount of time than I would have in that whole 12, 14 hours.
Absolutely. You know, and the company I think that I actually worked the closest to the actual 40 hours a week was when I was working remotely for a marketing agency. And you know, they're like monitoring your activity on your computer. Like, is your mouse moving? Are you doing like how much like is your mouse moving during those 40 hours?
Not that I
It was
would condone
crazy.
this sort of thing ever in the history of everything, because lying is bad, okay? But apparently they have ways to circumvent that technology.
Oh, there are ways, Sarah.
Oh, there are ways.
There are ways.
We can't necessarily
Right.
talk
I don't
about
even
all
talk
the ways.
about that.
Oh, but
You
see,
can-
like,
You
to
can
me,
work 24/7 without working. I shouldn't say that
Okay,
out loud.
but I
anyways.
did do.
For me-
But I will say, like, I worked harder and like
Yeah.
I
because
like just
you
ask
were in
Nathan,
your
like
zone.
literally like working for 8 hours nonstop, staring at a screen, editing and writing, and like it was the most intense thing ever. It was crazy.
Nah,
She
bro.
literally
Nah.
worked maybe 10 times more than what we worked to make like a fraction of what we
I
are
got,
even
like,
capable of.
Bonuses for being one of their most productive like editors.
Money is not the end
but
all
like
be
it was
all.
not worth it. It was not worth
No.
like the
I-
soul-sucking work that I was doing and like the $16.50 an hour I was making. Like, not worth it.
I made 6 figures plus a year. Theoretically, I only worked 4 days a week. However, I was flippin' miserable.
Yeah.
Flippin' miserable. Was it worth it? 2 thumbs down, 0 out of 10. Do not recommend.
Yeah.
Money
Definitely.
is not the end all be all. And they've
not.
done studies that you can be working 20, 30 hours a week as opposed to 40, 50, 60, 80, 1 million. Like, and at this point, like, we're just always on.
Mhm.
Oh, my phone went off. Oh, back to work. Like, oh, I got a message on my email or Slack or LinkedIn
Well,
or
and
anything.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Sorry, I finished what you were going to
No,
say.
but like, we're more productive. We put out more if we limit our hours of commitment and we just focus in a productive way.
Yes, and I think that's even more important, like, right now when everybody is
Exactly.
working remotely, because you don't have, like, the physical walls of, like, your office that you then leave and, like, get to, like, go home.
Exactly.
So now we're all kind of
trying to
stuck in this, or like there's not that clear like differentiation between like, when I'm working and I'm in my office and when I'm at home and not working. Like, it is a lot easier for those boundaries to get really sketchy in this day and age when we're all working at home. And so yeah, I think that's another thing. I think it's really important to delineate those times where, if you are working remotely, or even if you're running your own business, like Nathan and I struggle with this running Notia Point, is like, and I'm sure you do too, Sarah, like as a part of this company, is like sometimes it's like hard to turn it off. We have to, I sometimes have to be like, Nathan, I can't talk about it anymore today. Can we like talk about something else? And but it's just like, it's always on your mind, and it's something,
because it's your livelihood.
It's like, it is our life and our livelihood, and it is something that we are so passionate about and like believe in so much. But still, we even get to the point of like, all right, like during these hours, like let's take a break.
Like I can be doing just fine and be like, oh, I'm gonna take a break, and then all it takes is like one person from my overall community of 6,000 and growing across my channels, and then it takes that one person with a disaster, and then I'm like sucked into it. Like, oh, I'm so sorry. Let me help you.
Okay, well, can I say something that might piss off the boomers?
Yeah, please do.
Please do.
I had a whole argument with one on LinkedIn
say whatever
today
we
about
want.
this exact topic.
It's our company.
Well, don't tell me that. That's dangerous. Okay. So I feel like the greatest generation, silent generation, the boomers, they're like, oh, millennials, Gen Z, they don't know the definition of work ethic. I think it's the exact opposite, because we care to our souls about our jobs. When we see an email, we're like, I need to respond because I want to do the best possible thing I possibly ever can, because I care about how my company performs. I care about my coworkers. I don't want to leave them hanging. I care about my supervisor. I care about my juniors. So the whole lazy millennial Gen Z thing is bull honky.
Yes.
Well, why did we bring you on? We brought you on especially also because it's like, I see all these messages and I'm like, oh, I want to help this person. Oh, I want to help. And then when I was a small company, and then we brought on Laura, we got a little bigger. And then Jordan came on and we got a little bigger. And now we just keep getting a little bigger. But now that it's no longer just me, like when it was just me, I was like, just enough people for me to be like, hey, how are you doing? Oh, and I could have these one-on-one relationships. But all of a sudden, I can't, too many people, 6,000. So it's like I need someone who people can talk to.
Sarah.
You're welcome. I'm your new mom. Hello, my name's Sarah. I'm your mother now.
But one last point about the greatest generation is that, like, you know what, like, I don't necessarily blame them either, because they were also raised in this culture of, like, that's how you work. Like, you go to an office, you work the job, you go home to your wife, and she's got dinner on the table. You know, like,
if I can
that's
say
how
something,
they were raised. That's what they were used to.
Or if you're my entrepreneur dad, he would literally fall asleep at his desk, and he'd wake up in the morning falling asleep on his desk, and then the office had a shower, because then he'd just like take a shower at the office and just wake up and never even leave the office.
And again, like, I got
it happens sometimes.
I got
to like buy a house for like $10,000. So.
That's exactly right too. Like, circumstances were very different then.
The point is, we're not lazy. We're actually sometimes overly invested in our careers because we genuinely care about what we're doing.
We have a different idea and definition, thanks in large part to the internet, of what work can be and like the potential of what work can be. Like, I got in this LinkedIn altercation today with this woman, like not altercation, but we had a nice like back and forth, And
I was ready to
my
fight her.
conclusion in my own mind was kind of like, I just feel sorry for this woman that her definition of like what success is and how to be successful, like you have to work 60 hours a week and like women whine so they're not successful, is basically what she said to me, and that set me off, of course. But like like she just has such a limited view of what the world is and what work is, and I feel sorry for her, honestly, that she's stuck in that in that corporate cog that she will probably never break out of.
Well, I have family members who work themselves into the dirt and don't realize that, like, because they don't know anything different.
And they don't know why they're not fulfilled in their lives.
Yeah, they don't know why.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So like that's like the total point of our conversation. People are programmed to believe that you have to work 6 hours a week, or you're ungrateful, or you're lazy. But you don't have to do that. The most important thing of your life is your family, whether they're near or far, and taking care of yourself, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. But you can find a job that checks all those boxes.
And that cares about your mental health and your physical health and like your humanhood, you know? Like, those things are
You're actually a human being, believe it or not.
I know, I am too. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, bunch of humans. And you know, growth can be a little slower this way, but if you think about it this way, it's like whether or not it's slow to take time to put your time back into people, it's like if you look at businesses that just focus on like maximum enrollment, they get all these people who come in and don't know anything about them, and so then when everyone goes away, they don't know what people thought of everything. They don't know how people felt about the experience, and then they'll open up like reviews for things, and then with reviews, people do the generics. They either give 5 stars or 1 star, and then personalities that go in between never give a 5-star or a 1 star. And so you can even target people who are more likely to provide 5 stars and make that your business targeting. And then you can just like make yourself, I don't know, it's a thing.
Yeah. But anyway, just to kind of stick on this topic of like, you can do what you want to do. Like you don't have to be stuck in this like, in a crappy job that like makes you miserable and expects you to work way more than any human should be expected to work, and like, you know, discourages vacation. You know, take your vacation. Like, I was always one of those people who used every moment of my vacation time I possibly could, and it just like baffles me that people don't use all their vacation time.
I would feel guilty though, and I think this is a very common sense.
I could see that. I could see that. I will admit,
I can't leave my coworkers with my work because it's going to be a little difficult for them because they don't see it every day. I can't do it. I love them, you know?
Yeah.
You don't want to leave them hanging out to dry.
Yeah, and that's so true. But it's also like and it's important to care about your coworkers, but it's also important to care about yourself and your own mental health and making sure that you're getting the time that you need for yourself.
Everything's gonna be okay.
It's all gonna be okay.
Yes.
It'll be okay, I promise.
Everything's gonna be okay.
But to kind of transition a little, because we don't want to spend too much time tonight, because Nathan still has a lot of coding and work to do on the PyTinker expansion. I guess like kind of the point of all of this is like, we really encourage everyone to chart your own path, and like we hope that that's kind of what you came to Notia Point for, and you know, that's what all of our products, all of our workshops, and you know, our Raspberry Pi computers that we custom build and sell with workshops, like that's the whole point, is to help you get better skills so that you can create the life that you want.
We have something regardless of your skill level, whether you're a free coaching, free PreRex level, we've got that for you. We've got something a little more advanced with the PyTinker and PyHacker. And when you're a real boss, what do you call it? Something Slayer, NATO.
Titan Slayer.
Titan Slayer.
Cloud is like the giant technology of our time.
I like to call them the Cyber Samurais.
We could say Cyber Samurais, either way.
Yeah, when you're a Cyber Samurai or a Titan Slayer.
Because we teach Bushido.
Yeah, we have the DevSecOps dojo for you.
Exactly.
So wherever you are, we got you. I got some discount codes for you if you want them.
Yep.
So
go chat with Sarah.
Students, yep.
Yeah, for vets and military and students, we have some awesome discounts on the Pie Tinkerer workshop, which is exactly what Nathan's working on. Nathan, you want to talk a little bit?
Yes,
about
let me tell everyone
what you've been
exactly
doing
what I'm doing.
today?
I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing. So I am working on a DLC expansion for one of our continuous cloud products. And so I'll just kind of give you a high level idea of what's going on here. If I just go over to our website, one of the things that we're really big on is we teach people how to, work with technology. And people have asked me, well, how do you know I can get a job with these things? Or how do you know I could build a business with these things? All of the technology is the same, whether it's like a multi-million-dollar business trying to work with Kubernetes is the cloud standard right now, or a company who, for example, like Chick-fil-A. One of our members last week, Brian, talked about the fact that Chick-fil-A uses Kubernetes with their little tablets for edge computing. So whether or not people know what any of those things are, I come from working with corporate technologies, so of course I'm going to work with building my own corporate technologies, which we did. We were like, well, I want to build a business. And I'm like, well, if I want to build a business, why don't I just build my own products? And it's like, the only products I know how to build are generally cloud products and cloud hosted products. But right now, during this time in this season, the one thing I know how to do just so happens to be valuable for helping people make online careers, because it so happens to be the most in demand skill set. And then on top of that, I come from specializing in my niche of cybersecurity with cloud. But I started doing I guess malware and then cloud separately, and then I ended up doing a different job that kind of allowed me to work with both. So right here we have a bunch of cloud workshops. We host all of our workshops in a cloud, right? And if I click on one of these, we can see that there's this one workshop that we have called the Pie Tinkerer workshop, which historically, it's designed for overclocking, but there's a good reason why it's an overclocking workshop. It's because the Raspberry Pi platform, most technologies when I was working in the corporate space ran at a certain speed. And the Raspberry Pi just so happens that if you overclock it, it will run at enterprise speeds. And so I was like, oh, sweet. So if I overclock a Raspberry Pi, I can build enterprise software on it and build an enterprise-grade cloud because of overclocking. Because people have asked me oh, the Raspberry Pi is not powerful. And no, it's not without overclocking. And if you don't know what overclocking is, then of course the Raspberry Pi is just a bunch of stuff that's not going to do a whole lot of what you want. But I am an engineer, and I come from doing that sort of work in cloud development, cloud engineering. I've done electrical engineering. I've done malware analysis. I've done so many things. I've done worked with materials and aerospace engineering companies. I've worked with companies that do space. I've worked with space facilities. This is just a reality. This is what I've done. So what am I used to, and what things am I used to working with is right here. This is a cloud product. Well, this product right now, it has guidance for how to get infrastructure. If you were to buy one of our kits, to operate at enterprise grade speeds.
Optimize your hardware, yes.
That's right. So the Pi Tinker workshop is learn how to build something that can work and perform at enterprise level. The stuff that businesses use, the stuff that corporations use, the stuff that for example, this is actually more powerful than what NASA uses on their satellites, on a lot of them, except for if they launch a brand new one, great. But a lot of the satellites out there are not even as powerful. This is reality. In space, let me just give you a direct
technology
image.
from the 80s or something. Is that...
Oh yeah, a lot of them still have infrastructure from the 1980s, which is there are satellites literally running Windows 95. So if I just say.
Can you just not advertise that right now? Because that makes
satellites.
Me feel
Let's
bad.
just go here and take a look at this. So now some satellites are more powerful than others, but a lot of the things that we still use these days are running on infrastructure that we use for business applications, because believe it or not, the number one business technology is the cell phone, not the computer anymore. So when we're talking about satellites and stuff, this is actually the number one end user technology. And this is what makes the most money in the world. And cloud, a lot of it goes through satellite, and this is more powerful. So if an actual satellite, because I used to work with satellite technology, this is also true. I didn't realize that a lot of the things I know are things that no one knows, but that's fine. So I'll talk about it more because I'm learning that it's unusual. Because I have imposter syndrome, and I've been like, oh, whatever, satellite technology, oh, whatever, space facilities, oh, whatever, aerospace engineering, oh, whatever, like materials engineering for mannequins.
Give yourself credit.
Yeah, so this
It's
is more
hard, but
powerful
yeah,
than a lot of
do
this.
it.
Yeah, I've hosted products on infrastructure way less powerful than this. So we're like, let's give people enterprise-grade technology in their home. Like, why not? I don't know.
And do it on a scalable, affordable level.
Absolutely.
Yes, and teach people how to build the
Scalable,
technologies
being another
that
grade.
businesses need.
Yes.
Because, let's see, going back to the workshop here, I'm going to show, like, how is it that we can, like, build and host our own technology, and then also, without me being like, heads up, everyone, these workshops need a maintenance window for the weekend, so you won't be able to access your workshops for the weekend. I don't want that.
No, because you know what? I work best at 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. East Coast or 12, whatever.
That's right.
No,
Yeah.
it never fails.
Yeah.
When I went to work is when the website is down. Nah, screw that. No.
And the best part is, like, while I'm doing this 2-day sprint, because today I just been building, and I work
Yep.
with the dojo. So for those who are in the dojo, Jorge, thank you for being a part of the dojo. Yasser, you're amazing. Thank you for being a part of the sprint. And Randall, who's really made the dojo possible, and Brian, who's joined in and has been a part of the community. So really, I just want to say thank you to all of you who are part of the Cloud Underground with us in our DevSecOps dojo, because we actually have members who are building learning how this is built. So what we're doing today and tomorrow is I am actively live building the downloadable expansion for this, and then tomorrow I'm going to finish and package the rest of it to release to where this workshop right here, anyone who knows what this is and has worked with this workshop is going to receive an update without anyone ever being disturbed. And I'm
right.
showing, like, how is it that you can, like, build a product, host a product, release a product. And the reality is, it doesn't have to be a learning classroom. Like, sure, this one's a classroom, but it could be a SOC. It could be like a SOC technology, like, for example, like, we could instead be selling dashboards.
What is a SOC?
Mm-hmm.
A security operations center is what a SOC is.
I
And
know
it's
that
like,
word.
This is a network operations center is what this is. So this is called a
NOC.
NOC. Oh.
Knock, knock.
So I learned how to work with NOC technology before I started working with SOC. That's something that I did. I actually really like NOC technology, but this is Nagios Core. I've spent so much time with Nagios Core, and really,
One flapping.
you can build a SOC with NOC technology too. And the reality is, like, this is the technology that allows you to have an online career and a high-powered online career. And, you don't have to be building a workshop like what we do. So just because, like, this is our product, your product could instead be this, or your product could instead be this. We just so happen to be building educational packages right now, which our product is this, and it's hosted in the
Because
cloud.
that's what we want to do. We want to
Yes.
share the amazingness of the possibilities of what you
Yes.
can do with cloud technology,
Yes.
agnostic cloud technology. We want to share it with the world.
And
So
if you
exciting!
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you know how to build bare metal like cloud infrastructure, you can slap whatever you want on top of it. So you could literally, like, on your cloud infrastructure, you can host this. You can host. This is actually hosted on. You can see right here, Raspberry Pi 4. Hey.
I have
And
to
this
say,
is actually
like,
running on a dual Pi cluster.
When I was little, Raspberry Pi was my favorite pie from Grandma Love. Shout out to Grandma
The
Love
best.
up in heaven somewhere. But anyways,
Yeah, so-
Raspberry Pi.
Yeah. So
Yummy.
the good stuff. So by tomorrow sometime, whenever I finish getting everything ready, I'm gonna, like, as soon as I have all the packages ready, I'm gonna have this, like, full package that I've been working on, like the intelligence behind it, like who's it for, the code behind it, all those things, like how are we gonna put it together, how are we gonna make sure that it's secure before release, DevSecOps, develop secure operations. People can't just, like, go and scrape our stuff in a way that we don't want them to. Now, I will say that the type of personality who knows how to scrape our stuff, there's no reason for you to pay for it anyways. So I don't bother with that because, like, if you already know that, you should honestly go get a job if you know how to scrape our stuff.
We're proud
Because
of
we
you,
teach you
Boo-Boo.
how to
We're
get a
proud of
job,
you.
and you know more than what we
Yes,
teach.
we're proud.
So yes.
Like, at this point, we're just proud of you. You go do you.
Yes, honestly, if you know how to
reference or
scrape our
something.
stuff without paying, come talk to us. I will personally help you get a job.
Yes.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
Because you're not our
Know
customer.
if you need
Throw your
an
hacking career.
And
intro.
I'll take-
Yeah.
Because I know so many other people who are like, I wish I could find someone who's that talented. Come talk to me if you know how to scrape our products. But
For
the
real.
reality is it's harder to scrape our
seriously.
products than you might think. And if you don't know how to do that, come learn from us. Let's go. Yeah,
We can get you there.
yeah we'll get you the skills.
That's right.
We can get you to the point, skill-wise, where you can steal our knowledge from us.
That's terrible that we're telling people that. That's the funny thing is because I know that if you're our customer, I know that you don't have the skills anyways. So like,
Yeah.
I know
we don't have
we're
them
safe
yet.
from our own customers. Well, no, but even if someone gets there, well, they'll never be our customer because they should go get a job with the skills. They know too
and
much.
again,
But we
I
get
see.
them to that point.
our
They don't have
primary
skills
yeah.
goal.
yet because we're going
Yet.
to teach those
Yes.
skills to you.
Yes, we'll teach you the
We-
skills.
And then you can graduate into the dojo and continue learning new and amazing and more advanced skills.
Yeah, if you're
Yeah.
one of our dojo members, you already know how to hack our cloud. That's why I call it Titan Slayers. You can hack our own stuff. That's terrible, and I shouldn't even be admitting that. Oh.
But anyway.
I didn't mean to take it that far. But the point is, what we want is to see people successful in cybersecurity and
Absolutely.
DevSecOps, and we can get you zero to hero. That's why we have a program called Zero to Hero. That's why
Yep.
we have the
That's
DevSecOps
right.
Dojo. And
Yep.
if you really want to see how it works in real time, doing the live stream, but you have to purchase a package.
And why not learn from someone who can actually do
But
it?
if you purchase the package, I think, are we going to have recordings of some of it? At least part of it? Or
Oh, of the sprint? No, you got to join now if you want to join part of the sprint. If you want to have any part with the sprint, you got to join before tomorrow. Because I'm not going to give
I
anyone
might
access who's
try
not
to-
a part of
okay,
this.
so
sprint
how do you
to
get
watch
into
how we
this?
do
How
it.
do you get into the dojo, which is what is required to get in the sprint? Is
Easy.
purchase a workshop from us.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
So all you have to do.
Experience PreRex, which is free, unfortunately does not qualify you. You do need
Yeah,
to commit.
free
to
workshops won't get you
paying
on
for
the sprint.
something.
Sorry.
But if you jump into one of our paid workshops, whatever level you're at,
This is
get a
the
realistic
easiest way.
workshop.
Yeah, this is honestly our best deal of the season. Is get this package with this and get the Pied Hacker experience. It'll cost you like $900. For less than $1,000, you can build a career that'll pay you 50, 60, and like I said, I've had people who like their first entry level job in technology, not even technical, $80,000. Not even technical. Just saying. I'm just saying.
She
not
was,
even technical.
as in, she wasn't technical before she got that job.
No. The job wasn't even technical.
Oh, the job wasn't technical.
They just had to understand how to read, and they went into regulation and risk for this stuff. They went into regulation and risk for cloud. And so even if it
But you
takes you a
have to
long time to
understand
pick up
those.
the technical, like Kung Fu, like, the DevSecOps Dojo teaches the business know-how too, not just the technical Kung Fu. As a matter of fact,
Because
if you're...
you don't have to be just technical. I'm not super technical. I am
Yeah.
more of a people person. I am into regulations and words and white papers and blah, 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 blah. You don't have to be super technical to follow our programs and
That's right.
learn to
That's
your
right.
max because we have a broad... I hesitate to call it a broad scope of knowledge because it seems unspecialized, but it teaches you how to know the value of cybersecurity, and that is the
Absolutely.
core concept. First principle thinking, right, NATO?
Oh yeah, we it's first principle thinking. We literally, to teach you how to build both cloud and learn cybersecurity, it takes 3 months. Think about that before I say what I'm about to say, because otherwise you'll be like, oh, that's impossible. It's not impossible because it's really slow. And we teach you how to build an entire cybersecurity program on the network that you're on. So like if it's your home or your small office or your home office, we teach you how to build an entire cybersecurity program from whatever you're getting. If you're getting a single Pi system, then it would be that. Or if you're getting one of our dojo edition, we have a Now, for those who are a little more hardcore, as you can see right here, this shows that we have 2 different types. One of our kits is has just fewer resources and is not 100% like this is a tiny data center. Our more affordable one, this one right here is 1 pi, and it's not this one is not a full built cluster, but it's enough to start learning the skills. But for someone who's going to launch a business, I would actually recommend getting this other one. That's this
the dual pi cluster. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's what we're doing. I got to get back to development because I
Yes!
have to release this expansion because we are releasing a DLC tomorrow, and I started working on it today too.
And get it to me so that I can put it in the core.
Yes. So I do the development, and then I set up like some basic security. Then she manages like the security for like how it then gets to the customer, and then she's the one who finishes the package and then puts it out for release for everyone to get. And she also makes sure that we can receive customers.
I'm excited, guys. I'm excited to see everything that happens. I am not so much excited for you guys and your workload, but I am so excited to see the results of it.
Skills. We got it.
Yeah, we're excited. It's all good.
Excited.
It's all exciting.
Yeah.
It's all good stuff.
We're excited to show people like you can literally build and launch a product in 2 days.
We're really excited about this expansion because not only does it prove that, but it also is going to be teaching people some really awesome, valuable skills. You know, you're going to learn how to cluster pies so that you can essentially like build a giant, scalable, Kubernetes supercomputer or whatever it is that you want to do with those resources.
What we care about the most is like sharing this beauty of knowledge with people.
Absolutely.
Right?
That you can then take and like build upon and create your own thing with,
Exactly. Not sell your soul.
Don't sell your soul. Don't be a cog in the corporate wheel.
That's right.
You don't have to work 60 hours a week. If I might pop on a Facebook Live if you're part of the Nostra Squad, I might get a wild hair. We'll see. You can always DM me if you want to know about any of our deals for the holidays, or we do have students.
Mm-hmm.
I think you need to go back to work. Yes.
You don't have to wait till Black Friday or Cyber Monday to get the deals.
That's right. Our Black Friday all month.
It's
We're
Black
not
Friday
doing
all month
anything. All month. Last day is Cyber Monday.
And all the information for what you get is like in those products, so just go check it out.
Yep.
Go online, nostrapoint.com.
All right.
Yeah, you get DevSecOps Dojo access for the rest of 2020 only if you join now, and you get special access to what's called the Roundtable. And Roundtable access, there are reasons behind that, security reasons actually, but
exclusive
join the
access.
dojo and I'll explain why, because there are business continuity reasons behind it, and
right.
that's not for Free Coaching Friday because it's too complex. So
Nope.
We're good to go. If anyone else wants to join the dojo, you can catch more of us in the sprint because I actually need to drop out. So I'm going to go ahead and end this for all of us so that I can move on to keep doing the development so that I don't pull an all-nighter. So maybe I'll get like 2 hours of sleep maybe or something.
Go do magic. Yeah. Go make magic happen.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys, for stopping in Free Coaching Fridays.
Thanks,
we'll
everyone.
see you next week.
Learn how to make more money in 2021 with us. Come by our workshops and we'll make you so much money.